No big idea that would grab the attention of the voters and bring them back to Labour. Would you like to comment on that,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to. I'm a social worker by profession and very concerned about welfare reform. So I'd like you to answer the question more specifically about welfare cuts. Do you support the Harriet Harman line, which seems to be going along with the Tories, or do you have a different view in respect of what the Tories are doing to increase child poverty in this country?
What was your name, sir? Sorry?
Roger Berry.
Roger. Yes, sir.
There's been a lot of talk with regards to policy. We're very well aware of the fact that probably 1 in 3 of the electorate didn't even bother to vote. Is this a case of a lack of trust with regards to policy, or is it a lack of trust with regards to our elected representatives? I mean, we seem to have lost sight of the important qualities that are needed within our elected representatives with regards to integrity, for example. I think what we should be focusing much more on, rather than policy, and policy is very important, is the individual integrity of our elected representatives, and can we trust them? Because there's a high level of disenfranchisement with regards to people today, and I think that's what it's based on, not policy so much, basically not trusting our politicians.
Okay, so the first question was about Tristram Hunt's comments about are we at risk of becoming a party that's totally irrelevant. I don't know if you saw he had a piece in the Observer yesterday, it was on the MAR programme. Roger said, answer the question about welfare cuts, and then the final issue was about, isn't the real reason why people don't vote is they don't trust their politicians? What about some integrity here? And I'll try and take those together. We all know the biggest thing when in my own patch and anywhere is the people will say either, oh, I'm not interested in politics, or you lot are in it for yourselves, you lie and then you go back on what you said. So unless we can deal with that, we're not even off the starting blocks. And that's why, I will, tough though it is, I never say anything that I wouldn't see through. I never promise something that I can't keep, make a promise I can't keep. And so when constituents will say to me, well, are you going to do X, Y and Z? And I will say, I will try my best, I will do this, I will work my butt off for you, but I can't promise I can wave a magic wand overnight and change it. And I certainly won't say that, I will oppose everything awful that's happening unless I can find a credible alternative that we can pay for, because they won't believe us otherwise. And I don't think that when people say they don't believe, I'm not interested in politics, they are interested in having a good job, having a nice home, having a great school that their children can get on in life, and grandparents are as interested in that as parents. So it's not that they don't understand politics, it's that we are not talking about the issues in the way we're doing it. And Gloria do you know that Gloria did a brilliant tour of the country about why do you hate me? Did you know about this? Where she went and asked, and I'm sure she'll want to say something about all of those issues. And some people here will love Prime Minister's questions. Put your hands up if you like PMQs. Right, okay, maybe not. I hate it. I don't think it looks good. People shouting at each other, not answering the questions, and not actually setting out something that's decent and realistic for people. And this links to Tristram's point about irrelevance, right? It was a catastrophic defeat. There's only 24 seats with a Tory majority of less than 3,000, and we've got to win 94 back to form the next government in the East Midlands. We didn't win a single one of our marginal seats. We actually lost 2 MPs, only 4 Labour MPs outside London in the whole of the South East, only 4 in the South West. Even in Wales, we lost a seat like the Gower that we'd held for 106 years, and wipe out in Scotland. That is the good news. Things could get worse. We're going to have a boundary review, okay, and lose 50 seats. The SNP continues to be on the rise. So what Tristram has said is, this debate in the party immediately goes down to individual policy issues, and I understand that, but we have to set out who we are and what we're for. And we will, what are the big challenges the country faces? huge inequalities, which mean kids from the poorest backgrounds in my constituency start school, on average, 15 months behind where they should be at age 3.5. They play catch up for the rest of their lives. That's terrible for them, and it holds our country back. We'll never have a strong economy that everyone can share in if everyone doesn't get a good shot at life. Still remains a threat to our United Kingdom unless we can have an alternative which both continues to support that sense of shared risks and resources, but gives more power and say and control in England as well as Scotland and Wales. And we are about to be at risk of leaving Europe, the biggest issue that our generation has faced, because we are allowing David Cameron to reduce the question about our role in Europe as being about whether Polish workers get tax credits. That's an important issue, but it's not about our place and role in the world. And we have to face those issues if we want to be relevant and credible and win again. So Tristan was right. Let's burst open this debate and face up to the big issues we've got. And on the specific issue of welfare cuts, right, I do not support proposals that rip tax credits out from ordinary working people, right? Without making sure, guaranteeing they actually get a decent living wage. Why? Because I believe work should pay. But what George Osborne has done is he's tried to rebrand the minimum wage a living wage, and we can't let him pull the wool over the public's eyes. But I know what Harriet has said has caused real concern, but let me say this for Harriet. She is in a difficult position. She is trying to say to the country, we've listened. We've heard that you don't trust us on welfare. We've heard that you don't trust us with their money. We've heard that you believe we can't take any difficult decisions. So she was right to say, if we oppose these things, as we should, we have to set out a credible alternative. And that is why I have already announced a big review into the £100 billion a year we spend on tax reliefs. That's more than we spend on all working age benefits, and yet they're barely even looked at. If we took those tax reliefs back to the level there was in 2010, we'd save at least £10 billion. But to govern is to choose. So the question for any of the candidates that you're hearing talk about these issues, not just think, don't just ask yourselves, are they right? Ask yourselves, are they saying something difficult? Are they showing how they pay for it? Because quite frankly, over the last 5 years, we attacked everything without showing what we do instead. And if we do that again, we'll have the same result. We'll lose, and we will never be able to help the weak and the vulnerable, because we'll be powerless to stop it, because we won't be in government. It is going to be tough, but let's do it. We can make alternative choices. But let us understand what Harriet was trying to do. She was trying to say, we've heard the public. We know you don't trust us on this. We are determined to change, and I support her for that.